Hey guys, 2016 is over. It's here. I can't believe it. The year has really gone fast. You may notice that behind me we have a different background today. I am working from my home office this week. Our daughter's school is closed, and so I'm working from home. She's hanging out doing her thing. But with the year coming to an end, it's given me the opportunity, as everyone else is, to think about their goals for the coming year, to reflect back on my goals that I had set for 2016. In fact, my 2016 goals were based on what I had accomplished in 2015. That was a phenomenal year for me. I had the privilege of working with a lot of buyers and sellers and having them place their trust in me. I earned a spot amongst the top 6% of Coldwell Banker agents worldwide in 2015. And so, as a person does, my goal is to do bigger and better things the following year. And so I had that goal written on my wall. Every time I picked my head up from my desk, I would see it. By the middle of 2016, I knew I was far from making that bigger and better goal. 2016 actually started off really slow, literally doing this to type instead of, that. I was recovering from a horrible wound to my arm. I'd cut open a box, using the Cutco knife. Those things are phenomenal. If you ever want a good knife, that's the knife to get, because it actually cut the muscle in my arm. When it did that, I lost use of my fingers, my wrist, for quite a while. After a few days, I was able to do a crab pinch, and so I was limited. I couldn't really use this arm. My typing was with my index finger. Showing went really slow. With time and a bunch of physical therapy, I was able to get the use of my fingers back, my wrist back. I did tear the tendon though, because as this all was coming back, that overcompensated. So I, lost some progress, took a few steps back. But again, with lots of physical therapy and the patience of Mary Sue, we got things going again. Finally, after 10 months, I was discharged from the surgeon's care as well, because with those getting set back, that kept getting me back to his office. But anyhow, so that was a bit of a slowdown to the beginning of the year. Also, right after that happened, I started having these bouts of horrible blood pressure drops, vertigo, dizziness, nausea, you name it. Well, doctors finally said no more driving, because that's when it would happen. And they also told me to just, cool it for a week. So I laid on the couch for a week, worked, remotely from the couch. Finally got that done, returned to work, but since I could not drive, I was on driving restrictions. That meant my agents, my fellow agents, had to come drive me places. They had to help me get my daughter to daycare. Mom would come down and help get me from point A to B when my agents weren't available, because they're their own business owners as well, and so I couldn't ask them to stop what they were doing to help me. If they were available, great. In fact, one of our agents' daughters was so kind to drive me around one night so I could show. So yeah, it was a slow start to the year, but we got past it just in time for me to start Leadership Manhattan. I met some phenomenal people in Leadership Manhattan, learned so much more about our city, our county, state, Fort Riley. It was phenomenal. I'm really glad I had that opportunity. The spring market picked up, and it was crazy, absolutely crazy. If properties were priced well, they were selling like that. So when I had listings that weren't selling like that, I knew we'd miss the mark. We were overpriced for whatever reason. Buyers, I was having to prep them for competing offers. About the time the market really picked up, all of a sudden my stomach felt like it was on fire, and I thought it was probably because of the stress of the selling season, but it wasn't going away. It was just getting worse. It got to the point where I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. So I went to the doctor, and we had a scope done, and it turned out I had a bout of gastritis. So started to get that under control, kept buying and selling with people. And then we received word after making a quick trip to Wichita for a weekend so our daughter could be a flower girl for the first time, which she was phenomenal. She did a great job. But once we got back from that, we literally pulled into town and got the call that Justin's grandma had passed away. She was basically a second mom to him. He had grown up in the South but moved to Milwaukee in high school to live with his grandparents. It helped him get his first job, introduced him to his faith. Now also got him started in AAU basketball, and then he went on to play JUCO ball just outside of Chicago, and they were a huge part of his JUCO experience. So we knew we basically were opening our suitcases, throwing them into the washing machine, packing everything, and head up to Milwaukee. But we got back, kept, you know, up with the market, and then eventually the summer started to come to an end, and the market also slowed down. It was kind of a frustrating time for sellers who came onto the market during the height, and then, you know, the demand dropped. It was also frustrating for me as an agent because so many of our marketing plans were based off of that initial activity. So we would have to revise things, and I was constantly watching the numbers. But once things kind of slowed down, my stomach still was not right. So we decided to go ahead and have my gallbladder removed. Would suspected it might have been my gallbladder for some time, but I do not like needles. I don't like anything like that. So I was trying to avoid it. Got it out, and guess what? All my blood pressure issues, all the dizziness, all that disappeared. So looking back, I really should have done things earlier. We're blessed to have fantastic insurance, and so, you know, I guess I gave our insurance a run for its money, but I also, being self-employed, did not want the implications of being laid up, being out of work, having to ask agents to drop their own business to help take over things for me. I'm very hard-headed in that regard, and so I did it, and it was the best decision I've ever made. But, you know, all in all, I'm very grateful to everyone who hung with me this past year, whether it was our agents driving me around, sellers and buyers who, you know, let other agents show them a property when I was laid up on the couch. Sellers who understood if another agent would take over their transaction for a day or two while I underwent a procedure. It was a crazy year, and one that I hope to never ever repeat. But the good news is, you know, looking at my production for the year, I'm only 4 transactions lower than I was in 2015. So, you know, having that farm girl mentality of I can do this, I may feel like crud, but I'm going to just go out there and do it. You know, it worked out for my buyers and sellers. I was still able to be there. I'm still able to advise them. And I am eternally grateful for their patience and their loyalty. They helped 2016 end up as a, you know, being a really good year, and I hope 2017 will be an even better year. My goals for 2017 aren't so much number based, but rather quality based. Being our only getaway was heading up north for a funeral. It made me realize that we work hard, but we also need to play hard as well. That's one of the pitfalls of being self-employed. It's hard to get away from business. It's hard to also put yourself in a mindset where you feel like you can step away from business for a few days. But knowing we have no sick leave, we have no vacation, I need to make that time for my family. We need to go out and create those memories. Justin was fortunate to have those memories with his grandma, and we all need to have those together. So 2017 was 2016, hey, I'm figuring out the year shift. 2016 was crazy, but it's also very, very blessed in that my clients still entrusted me with one of the biggest decisions they will ever make. So to all of you guys out there who were part of my business for 2016, know that I'm eternally grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully 2017, as you check in with me, I'm not talking to you or texting you from a doctor's office somewhere. I hope to not see any of the doctors anytime soon. Hope you guys are all doing well. Again, thank you. And I hope you guys all have a very, very excellent 2017. Bye-bye.